Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Poor Choices with
Yay!
a drunk Ray girl and kitten tugs. That
Kitten
kitten
tugs.
life.
Yeah. I'm all sorts of e-girl today. I got my kitten ears. I've got my like basic girl thing, and I'm also wearing a sundress.
Ponytail.
Yeah, I'm wearing a sundress on top of it. I'm all kinds of girly today.
I love the off the shoulder look, honestly. It's very
It's so cute.
sweet,
Here,
Southern, Texan.
I showed the chat, but I'll show it. Isn't that so cute?
All right. Well, should we do the battle of the outfits? Who's the cuter outfit?
Yeah. Let me see.
Do we like e-girl? Which outfit do we like?
I got this dress at
Like,
Walmart.
I think you're gonna win, e-girl. Hugs. I don't even know what to call it. Gothic X-ray. I think I look gothic today. Kind of.
What is that? It's supposed to be. What am I now? That would be
Okay, so
that e-girl. That e-life.
that e-life. Okay, so I'm wearing a peekaboo whatever shirt, and then I wore a sweater because I'm cold, and then you can't really see the pants as well, but they're like wide-legged pants.
Ooh.
So, and you guys got to peek at the tattoo I don't show. I think I like the Southern look more, but that's just me.
If there's any ladies in the chat, I don't know if we have any today, but this is a Walmart dress or gentlemen. Walmart.
Oh, see, I would love that.
$14. Yeah,
I love that. But either way, Jonathan's like, why not both? That's very true.
That's fair. Listen, get you a girl that can do both. Okay?
Yeah, that's true. Here's Samantha is right here, giving a trad girl meets e-girl look. Oh.
I'm gonna take it as a compliment.
I love
should put that in my Twitter bio.
Trad girl meets e-girl. Yeah. God. Well, I saw some very inflammatory tweets as per usual from Pearl, and she was saying avoid traditional feminists, and I just died laughing because, like, what makes a girl traditionally feminist? Like, are you one because you have your own career? Are you warning people about yourself? Like, that is the wild thing to me. But whatever, I don't understand. Internet is about the battle of definitions.
Oh gosh, I know. And everything changed. And honestly, if you really want to get into it, if she's talking about traditional feminists, then actually you do want the traditional feminists more than the modern feminists, because the traditional feminist was just like, hey, can I go to work too? I'd like to do that. Is that cool? Mm-hmm. And also, can I maybe get paid too? I mean, you needed us during World War II. There were literally no men left. And we kind of held the fort down. So I'd like to know, is that okay? Whereas the modern feminist is a hot mess. So yeah, out of the two, I think I'd rather get traditional.
I mean, traditional feminist, getting a job, literally because the way the world is set up, it's very hard to have a single income household.
Mm-hmm.
Like very hard. And even living baseline level, like baseline, you get a 3-bedroom home, 2 kids. That would be so difficult to kind of manage. Oh, yeah. How much does one need to make in the States? And living in a small town. I'm not talking even big town, big city. Like, how much does one need? Is that something we can Google?
I don't know.
Family of
22 is it too, which sucks. And this is where we've backed ourselves into a hole. And I don't know the exact numbers. I'm sure somebody in the chat could find it, or we'll have to find it later maybe. But I don't know the numbers, but I saw an article that touched on if women, now this is not going to happen, but if women stopped working, the majority of women stopped working the way we used to not work, that would help fix the economy. Because part of the reason that we have such a high inflation is because we have more people working, which causes more taxes, which causes everything to go up, right? It's like demand. It's supply and demand. That contributes to it too. I don't know all the science behind it. I don't know. But I read that part and I was like, there's obviously more to it. But I was like, wow, that actually makes sense. And that's where this whole thing started back in the day, right? It's like, oh yeah, women to work too, because then we could get double the taxes, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's
so looking at this, it's how much you need to earn to live comfortably in major U.S. cities. An individual needs to make, and this is out, like, we know the average income is what, like 60,000, 50,000.
Oh, is it that high now? I honestly don't know anymore.
I mean, this is a major city, so we're talking about New York,
then
LA,
maybe,
this sort of stuff. So we can kind of extrapolate it to if you live in a small town, an individual probably needs to make like half of that. So before taxes to afford housing, groceries, transportation, entertainment, also while paying off debts as well. A 2-parent household supporting 2 children needs a combined, now this is astounding to me, $235,000.
Why?
Now, mind you, still, I'm going to say it again. This is in a major city.
But here's the thing, though, too. And I don't know if this article goes into that. 235,000. That's a lot. That seems astronomically high to me. Now I know I don't have kids, but how much is that paying for daycare? You know what I mean? That's automatically going to. I'm just going to throw a ballpark number out here. That's automatically going to add an extra 10 grand a year, let's say, depending on how many kids you have.
I think it's included. To
you
be
know
honest.
what I mean? So if you stay home, or if you have a family member that can stay home, or like a grandma or something, and be there with the kids instead of making them go to daycare, that automatically, you don't. What, 230 grand? That is so high. That seems too high.
This says it's the nation's 99 largest cities, so places like Boston, New York, and New York. Sorry,
New York,
which is insane. Latest data, according to statistics, typical American makes between 62 to 73K a year. Okay, it's a little higher than I thought. So medium household income is 77K. Wild to me. Absolutely wild. And only 18% of Americans make more than 100K a year. Ooh, most people cannot afford to live in the city then, is what I'm seeing.
Cities are terrible. Yeah, cities are terrible. But then it's like, also, Samantha here says, for example, here in the Midwest, it's $30,000 a year for 2 kids at full-time daycare.
That seems so cheap.
$30,000 a year? That's what I made.
For 2 kids. For 2 kids. So
15 grand. That's so expensive.
So 15 grand a year. Now, how I always look at these types of numbers is it worth it for you to go back to work, and do you make more than what your daycare costs?
Right. That's where right. And so like Samantha was like, wait, where'd it go? I quit my job last October after my second kid. My income after taxes was going, you're basically working for nothing at that point, right? If you're making, like, let's say like at my last job, when I quit my job, I was at 40,000 a year, right? That's my whole income. That's not including, taking out what I need for rent. That's not bills. That's not on top of having kid and paying for daycare. You have maybe 10 grand left over, quote unquote, right? That is ridiculous. That is insane. Oh my God, stay home with your kids. I'm begging y'all.
And it really depends on where you live and what's the situation. But like, I can see why families struggle to live given this information about the statistics. Okay. Yeah. There's no emotion in statistics. Trust me. I know. I'm a child of math, but
passive income is a huge thing, Eddie. That is true. And here's the thing too, is I think there's so many of us, millennials especially. It really started with our generation, but millennials and younger, math wise, we're screwed. Like there's so many of us. I know for myself, the math, like that whole finances, credit card thing, that is A1. All the men in my life, kudos. They're the ones that know all that stuff. But like for me, it doesn't make any sense. And they don't teach it in school anymore, right? You used to have home ec and all of this stuff. And part of those classes was talking about finances and balancing a checkbook and all of this stuff. You don't have that anymore. And so these people, these young kids are having babies and may or may not be getting married. And they're thinking that they're just never going to catch up, when in the reality may be that you have to sit down and look at, honey, you're only making this much. It's nothing. Like if you quit your job and you do Twitch, or you sell your cute little knickknacks or whatever online as passive income, or teach a course if you know fitness, whatever it is, on passive income, and do it that way, you just make a little bit of money here and there. That will make us more money and stay home with the kids. That will save us more money, and technically we'll be in the plus. That is, and people don't know to do that because we've grown up in this chaos of, oh, we have to work, we have to do this. This is mind blowing to me. $30,000. That is a down payment on a house.
Well,
That is a
I will
house.
say this. A lot of people that I've met, and this is a question I ask ritualistically now because I'm just curious, like, what brought you to YouTube? And we do have like the law tubers. I think they're the only ones with like specialized training of any sorts that I've met. But a lot of people are just like, your forklift drivers, your service workers, your like people in convenience stores, grocery stores, like those sort of things, like, uh uh, maybe not low income, but like minimum wage to would you be making about the medium income of society? And I think about like, did you in general know how to make money and how are we financing yourself nowadays? Of course, I didn't get too specific into the finance with these people, but it's just a good question because sometimes falling into money, as we've seen with people who get rich quick, who are those people, the Powerball people, the lottery winners, they don't know how to deal with it. I'm not saying specifically YouTubers, but these are things that like aren't taught in school, and I wish they were. It's literally basic addition, subtraction. But what are the percentages you want to put in certain things? Now, my accountant always said 30% in savings, 50% for living, 20% for immediate savings.
Yeah.
So,
it's wild. That is wild. That is a down payment on a house. I beg people, well,
down
my age,
payment on a house for 30K? That'd be impressive. Holy shit.
Depending
I
on
almost swore.
3%, depending on what you're buying, it's usually around there. That's usually about 3%. It's usually 3% down payment, which averages about, well, I don't know now, but it used to average about 30 grand.
I don't know. Like in Canada, you should put 20% down. Otherwise, you have to pay for insurance for your house. It's like an extra 10 to 20 grand, depending on what your house costs. And that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. So I don't know. Owing money on a house is not the best income, but hey, if you could work it into your finances to own/rent a house, all the power to you.
Money management should be taught in schools. Yeah, it should. Not enough basics. Oh, we're getting math. Oh, I mean, math is taught. Yeah, sure. Fractions every now and then. I guess if I'm baking a cake and I'm making like a tiny cake instead of a big cake, I have to use my fractions. I don't know. It's just like, to me, it's like we've lost the basic. And this is where the homeschooling argument comes in. You know what I mean? Everybody I know that was homeschooled, even if it was just a portion of their life, are way smarter with their finances than everybody I know, at least on this side.
Have you met homeschooled people? I actually haven't. Not that I'm aware of.
We had a couple. They were homeschooled up until high school.
Oh.
Yeah.
Have I met any homeschooled people that you know of?
Not that I know of. Not in this circle anyway.
Anyone in this chat that's been homeschooled, are you good with your finances? Just yes, or no, yes, whatever. Just out of curiosity, because I don't think I've met any homeschooled adults at this point in my life.
I am in shock right now. I'm begging
I know at least 2. Okay, I'm just not aware who the 2 are.
Biggles is like, me. No.
Yeah, are you admitting right now, Biggles?
I don't know either. I don't know anybody in this community off the top of my head.
Oh, single guy cooking. So we know one here. Single guy cooking was homeschooled.
How are you with your finances?
Are you good with your finances? Yes. We need to know. You're good at cooking. I understand that. Oh yeah, squatting's the new meta. I think it depends on your state. So be careful where you squat. And also be careful where you go. Don't do everything TikTok says, okay? Single guy cooking says very good. Okay, there we go.
Also, if you are a guy, if you are actually, I'm not, a single guy cooking, also automatically probably better at finances than women are because we are a hot mess. So
I don't completely derail that and say every woman sucks. Come on.
The majority of women, though, because if you look at the debt ratio, women.
I'm not being a feminist in that sense, but like maybe I'm just putting myself in the situation. Statistics wise, I'm not sure the stats. I don't want to put down every person. The women that I know, penny pinchers. I'm not just talking about family, okay? Maybe I just surround myself with penny pinchers, and that's because we're like, I don't want to go on this crazy expensive vacation. Let's just hang out at our houses and make food. Maybe
Yeah,
that's
well, here
why.
in America, it may be different in Canada, but here in America, I don't know the percentage or what the exact numbers are, but the majority, so the debt, whatever in America is majority women, and the majority of women hold terrible,
Okay.
terrible with
Like,
money,
okay,
terrible, terrible,
everything,
terrible.
everyone in chat, every woman, majority wise that you know, bad with money. I'm just like
Oh, yeah.
some weird statistics in this. Also, I'm not American, so I can't really be counted in this, I suppose. But this is just shocking to me
Yeah.
because I grew up
Well,
so
look, and
different.
think about it too. All of the stuff you see on TikTok, all the TikTok shop people, oh, this new thing, and oh, this new thing, like, oh, I'll buy the Stanley Cups, blah, 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 blah. This is not a Stanley Cup, by the way, this is a Walmart one. Is all women. And who are they talking to? Women.
Women.
My favorite videos, and
That
listen,
makes
I
sense.
fall into it too. My favorite videos are the girlies that are like, look at my Target haul, look at my Walmart haul. I do it too. Who am I talking to? The girlies. You know
Oh.
why? Because they're gonna go shopping. That's what we do, is we go shopping because we don't have anything
Ah.
else to do all day because we're all single millennial. Well, not single, but well, some of us are single. Single, childless millennials. You know what I mean?
My mind is being blown. I always
Oh,
thought
yeah.
I was an average woman, and I think I'm an average person in a lot of aspects, but I guess when it comes to relationship. Shut up, Mark. I love you. He said 10 out of 10. But it's just a lot of things that I grew up with are not normal. And I appreciate my mother and my father for that. So thank you, parents. You guys did a good job on me because I feel like it's so warped when I hear these statistics. I'm just shocked.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shocked. But you know what I was shocked about?
Oh no.
Henry Cavill. I can hear Anna crying right now.
You know what
Are you
is funny
upset about
about
this?
that? Actually, my first thought was about her. Anna cracks me up. This is not a shade. It's going to sound shady, but it's not, I swear to God. But my first thought was her because I was like, oh, I guess Anna was wrong about saying that their relationship was fake. Do you guys remember that? I don't know if anybody else remembers this. She
I
went
do
on like a whole
not.
3 video, I think it was about 3 videos and live streams about and it was pretty convincing because even I was kind of like, I mean, maybe who knows in Hollywood anymore, but she went on this huge tirade like a year ago when they first started dating about how their relationship was for publicity and it's not real and this woman's this and blah blah. I was like, damn, she went hard on her too. It was hilarious.
I
She
think
wasn't the
it's
only
just
one, like it was
I
trending
mean,
on
who
Twitter.
knows for sure, but it just I think Henry Cavill is such a sex symbol. And look,
I get it. I
so
get it.
many
She's only
men
after him for his
even are
money.
like, I'll go gay for Henry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who in the chat would go gay for Henry?
Yeah.
Just saying, I've heard a lot.
Yeah.
So him expecting first baby with girlfriend, Natalie, I think they're adorable.
They're so
It's
cute together.
crazy that it's a year already.
Yeah, it might be even longer, but it's been at least a year of them together.
But yeah, so he's a dad. He's going to be a dad. They're
I'm so excited.
so cute together.
I will say I'm a little surprised, and maybe they are, and we just don't know it. I'm a little surprised just based on, obviously I don't know the guy personally, but based on his comments over the years that I've been following his career, I'm honestly surprised they're not married. First,
Now,
it honestly threw me for a loop. I was like, oh,
is
I
he
mean,
like
you know,
super traditional with his views on relationships?
yes, it's not necessarily traditional, but he's always talked about how he wants to get married and have a family of his own. He has like 4 sisters and you know all this stuff kind of thing. So I'm a little shocked that they haven't gotten married yet and they're going to have this baby, you know, without, at least so far, without being married. Like that threw me for a loop, but I mean, I'm very, very happy for them. So I hope it works out. But yeah, that could just kind of throw me a loop because he's always kind of like Chris Evans has always talked about how he wants to get married and have a family and do blah, 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 this, that, and the other. And it might be an oops baby. I honestly don't know. But
I think it's an oopsie baby, but something I say to everyone, especially with my wisdom being older, anyone you put your pee in or let their pee in to you, just expect if you had a baby, would you be okay with it?
yeah.
Like really think about it real hard. All those
Yeah.
one night stands, and whatnot. There's a lot of people I have seen out there in the world that would definitely regret having a baby with whoever they effed.
Yeah. We've all been there, or most of us have been there.
I think almost everyone has been there, except for those people who save it for the freaking marriage. Which
and kudos to you. Bless you.
I wish I had restraint like that, because there are some people out there. Whew. Wow, Capitano. Well, good news, ladies. Yeah, let's take the positive. We could still get impregnated by Henry Cavill.
Hey, also a positive. Also a positive. There are very few, but they are loud when you see them. People on the internet who were convinced he was gay and not getting laid at all. Joke's on you.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine though, like the genetics on this kid? It's not fair.
It's gonna be a gorgeous baby. Like they both are very pretty, handsome people. How tall is Henry Cavill?
He's 6'3", 6'2", 6'3".
Okay. Well, hopefully the baby doesn't inherit his arms. That's the only thing.
What, his muscular arms?
Or no, his short arms.
What? They're not, are they? Or
they're very short. All the way. He is constantly like, okay, we gotta find this. Henry Cavill.
The lab says, can we all be sad about Henry? Yeah, there's, the unrealistic part of me is still like, we had a chance.
Okay.
All of us women all over the world are like, damn it. Like, kudos to Natalie.
Okay, this is a TikTok. Let me just. Okay, bodybuilding forums. This is probably safe because it won't have like anything dirty on it.
What if he?
I was afraid of Reddit.
Put his arms down. Oh, he's 6'1". What if he just can't put his arms down? His arms look fine. I'm so confused. I don't get it.
Like, look at them. Okay, so if he were to put his arms, you remember in school when you're like, your shorts can't be shorter than the fingertips on your legs?
Mm-hmm.
Now look at where they land on him.
And his crotch area. That seems about right. He has to be able to reach.
Oh my god.
No,
that's not what I meant. He is able to wear shorts.
I mean, he's wider. If you go back and you find him when he was skinnier, like before the muscles, like in
maybe
was that Two Doors, or Count of Monte Cristo, and he was a little bit chonky. No, they're fine. I think it's just the muscle. He can't put his arms down all the way.
I mean, I'm not bothered by it. Okay, just this is something that I hear a lot of people say about him. I'm a perv. Thank you. I'll take that. I'm okay with being a perv. Hey, I didn't like this package.
No, but she actually does have toe thumbs. That's it. She's talked about it. She actually does.
Hey, there had to be something ugly on her because she's so hot, okay?
Listen, there's got to be something wrong with these pretty people to make us all feel better, okay?
Yeah. Let's see. We got Psychotic Mongoose with the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Psychotic Mongoose. And Jason Webster for 5 Australian. Hi to the endearing, affable, expert girl, and exuberant Tugs. Another special episode of Poor Choices in Full Swing. Thank you. Cheers.
Well, thank you.
Today has been like a pretty cool day to me, even though I slept for most of it. I woke up and I texted Wicked Virtue. I was like, because we had to give we had to have a call, and I was like, hey, I'm free anytime, pretty much now. Just let me know. I didn't wake up till this was at 8:30. I didn't wake up till 11:30, and she had texted at 9.
She's like texting.
What's extra girl doing? I was very sleepy.
If it makes you feel any better, if you end up listening to this later, I feel you, girl. Okay.
Yeah.
There have been times where I've texted extra and I'm like, should I message Mark? Is she alive?
No, I've been sleeping. Okay. And it really depends. Like if I have work, I might have enveloped in work, and especially, errands are the worst. I'll like go do an errand 3 hours after the errands are done. I'll go home and be like, oh crap, I have so many messages.
Like I don't hear from extra girl for 3 days, and it's like, well, it's fine.
Whoops.
It's fine.
I love you.
Me. It's okay.
Honestly, and this is why I have started, and I think I've been better. I have been better. I've put on Apple, you can highlight certain conversations and that'll be at the top. You're one of
Oh
them.
yes. Am I?
Yeah, because I have done that to you too many times and I don't want to do that. Oh yeah, Blabs. That was the worst one. That was the worst one. She texted me for Valentine's Day and I was in Dominican at the time, so I didn't turn my text messages on. And so when we finally caught up, I was like, "You messaged me? I'm so sorry." And then I got the message when I got home. So I'm very sorry, Blabs. I love you.
Blabs wins. Blabs wins. Highlander, that top is adorable. Well, thank you. It's actually a dress. I'll stand up one more time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I do think, though, in this current day world, I do wish that Henry Cavill did get married to her or like a commitment at least.
I don't see. Yeah,
there are people who I didn't even know are married in the world, you know, like they'll do it in secret and that's their prerogative. I think that's actually really sweet to hide that from because you don't need to have everyone involved in your marriage, you know?
And Henry is so private 90% of the time. Like that was a big reason why there were a lot of people that thought this relationship was fake or whatever, is because he actually came out. This is the first time he's ever like come out and made a post about his girl. The other girls he's dated, and I'm so creepy, but whatever. The other girls he's dated has been like paparazzi photos, like, oh, Henry Cavill has been photographed with his hand on this girl's butt and snogging her in the back alley. He must have a girlfriend, and all of us are like, when did that happen? kind of thing. And then all of a sudden he's alone and he was like, oh, they broke up. And like, oh, okay. This is the first time he's ever made like a post about it. So people were like, oh, this is weird, blah, blah. But I was my train of thought. But yeah, no, I think they're cute together and they seem to balance each other out. So
absolutely. I wish I got to meet them in real life. Maybe one day. Hi.
Yeah. Have a beer. Yeah. We'd like to have a pint with you and hear your life story. Because honestly, I have so many questions.
Yes. Like, well, I don't really have that many questions. I think I just want to get to know the vibe. Blab says Rupert Grint never got married that we know of, but has been with a woman for like a decade plus. Now, and that's the thing. Like, I've always said this: if for some crazy reason Mark and I are together, whether he passes or for some crazy reason like we break up, I hope not. But like the next person I'm with for a long committed time, I don't think I want to get married unless there is a specific reason to do it. Visa, you know, if the person I fall in love with next lives somewhere else, you never know. Yeah, I don't know. There's no other reason besides 90 Day Fiance style, you know?
Yeah, I know. And then like the most famous couple probably is Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn. They've been together for 40 years. It's got to be at least close to 40, 30 something, 40, I don't know, really long time. And they've never legally gotten married. Now they live in California, so they are technically married. They have common law out there. And they've been together long enough that they are technically married, but they never legally got married. So there is that. This the way he talks. Well, and he could have changed his mind. I don't know. I would be surprised if they didn't actually get married or if they're not already. At the near future. And I also wouldn't be surprised if we never knew about it and she just showed up with a big old rock on her finger one day.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's just that private of a person. So there.
Oh, Highlander says there's only two men I go by for: Ryan Reynolds, Henry Cavill. You have the same taste as I do, Highlander.
Yeah.
Are we the same person? We've never seen in the same room together.
I've seen those two names. I've also seen, and I'm gonna out Duke on this right now. He's got a big old man crush on Scott Eastwood, which is another one that I've seen a lot of guys be like, yeah, I would go gay for Scott Eastwood.
Scott Eastwood. Let me Google him. I don't remember.
Oh my god, he is this spitting image of his dad back in his day, and it's wild.
Oh yeah, I can see it. Okay, yeah. I'm being a total perv right now, but there's a picture of him without a shirt.
Oh,
I don't know. You could tell me.
Yeah, looks just like his dad. Okay. No, it's not. He did a magazine spread where he's on the cover and he's got like a blue button-up shirt, and it's literally the spitting image. It's based off an old photo that his dad did. I'll see if I can find it. Hold on.
I mean, would says Blabs, so would. You would
I think a lot of
would.
people would. Yeah. I think a lot of people would. Yeah. And I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't blame you.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that people are saying he's a spitting image, like, I mean, he's not going to age insanely gracefully. Sorry, Clint, but you know, he's got the white man
His
genes.
dad is also like 80,000 years old. So there's that.
Yeah.
Where is this picture? You know what's interesting to me though? What's funny to me? I love talking about this because this fascinates me. So he is a child out of wedlock. His dad was having an affair on his wife at the time when Scott was conceived and born, and he is the only one. If you look at all of Scott Eastwood's kids, or Clint Eastwood's kids, and you look at all of his sons, Scott is the only one that looks exactly like his dad.
I think I've heard that, and Clint has been very clear to his children that he's not going to help them or endorse them to rise to their careers, and it looks like Scott's the only one that was able to do a Hollywood career. Oh yeah, I can
and
see
he
that.
did it without his dad. And if you go back and you look at Scott Eastwood's early stuff, he doesn't go by Eastwood. He goes by a different last name. I did not mean.
Well, there we go. So
yeah, there we go. Twinsies. But he's the only one. I always find that so hilarious to me. And it's always just kind of like, men, be careful, because there's no denying this one. And you like, all of his kids look like him, but you could tell they're his kids, especially the boys. But Scott's the only one that is the spitting image of him. And he's one that came out of an affair. And I just find that really like ironic. It makes me laugh. Yeah, that's very
yeah. Let's see. I love Blade 3 for two reasons.
Oh, Jessica Biel and Ryan
Jessica Biel. Samesies. I'm telling you, me and Highland are the one and the same.
Jessica Biel in her peak. Oh my! Yep. I was like, I'm not into women, but would if she asked me to, I would not hesitate.
Oh my god! I guess we could talk about the other one that is pregnant. Then we have Logan Paul is having a baby.
Congratulations to them. The comments on this entire post are disgusting. I can't. I'm
what
like,
do you mean? You know I didn't actually look.
They're being so nasty to her and him, but it's just like, come on, guys.
Were they public beforehand?
Yeah. Well, remember this is the same couple that I think we talked about this months ago, where people were the UFC fighter was calling her like a whore and all this stuff because she's been through a bunch of guys, and Logan Paul is the P word because he's with her, and like he didn't really stand up for her at first, and it was kind of keep it quiet about the whole thing, and then all of a sudden he started saying it was a big drama. It was a big drama months ago. I think we talked about it on here, but yeah, just briefly, and I don't remember why now, but they were going after like this fighter, and she had to defend her. So like it was bad. I'm like, good Lord Jesus, take the wheel. So anyway, all the comments are full of people being like, who's the dad? Oh, the dad or the baby's gonna be black and blah blah blah. I'm like, can't you all just be happy that a baby is coming into the world? Like, good God in heaven.
I mean, I'm not super aware of the controversy between this couple. I think if they really want to be a family, you should just let them be, and hopefully they love each other enough and take care of this kid. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm happy for them. Hopefully they are happy, and hopefully, you know,
I don't know them well enough. Sean says here, women become Sean, you're so funny. Become infertile at 17. That's why all the red pillars talk about how they want 16. Wait, was she 16 at the time he was dating?
It was? No. Well, I'm so confused. I'm so confused.
That's why I'm confused. I mean, Sean's pretty like he knows what he's talking about half the time, so I don't know.
What am I missing then?
Oh, is she old? Is she old and he's young?
I mean, I think he's in his mid-20s.
Is that the insinuation?
I don't know how old she is.
Patrick, if you're going to be a little prick, can you stop? If not, mods block him, please. Yeah, I don't know. He should not be a parent. I don't think that's necessarily true. There are worse parents out there.
I mean, Yeah, I don't know.
Like, one of the things that I learned is that a lot of the people that are getting pregnant are people who are not as smart or lower income, because we see now a transformation where a lot of older people are not having kids. They're being pickier. And then who is making the babies? It's the lower income, maybe not as smart. And it makes sense, because it's really what's happened. We are perpetuating this idea that kids are expensive, kids are a burden. How many people do we know that only have one children in their family? Right?
Yep.
I want at least 2 so that my kids have someone to talk to.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. You need a backup.
Well, or a backup. I wasn't even thinking that, but like, it is easier for kids to talk to each other, to hang out with each other. And it's like how I look at dogs or cats when they're growing up. If you're one by yourself, you don't know if you're being too rough or mean. But yes, have all the babies that you can do it. If you can't, that is a different story. There are people who biologically can have children, whether it's the male or female. I never want to, what's the word for it? Put someone down based on biology. And it's okay. You could be an awesome aunt or uncle.
Yeah.
That's fine. But
and I'd rather people who don't want to have kids. Yeah, like my sister still to this day, she's, and she got you'll grow out of it. She never did. And thank God that she doesn't want to have kids, because if she did have kids, not that I'm saying that she would be like the evil stepmother or anything, but she would not enjoy it. You know what I mean? And the kids will always feel that, So
yeah. And this is something that I would but hi Max, by the way.
No,
adopt babies too. I think the worst, like if Mark and I for sure cannot have kids, something I would love to do is adopt a kid that is older, even though it's more difficult. I know there's going to be a lot of issues with that.
Yeah.
But I think that they are the ones that have the least love out of all kids. All the babies get taken up so quickly, but
that's
not
because older kids are
problems. There's problems. Like, you hear about kids that steal stuff, kids that are, well, you hear about a lot of kids that go in and out of homes because they're being used for money, because the government gives money to people who adopt, or it's not adopt kids, it's what's the word for it, where you just house them, kind of like where you do for animals, right? Just until they find a home. I don't remember the word. Foster. Yeah, but like for human children. Is it still foster care?
It's still fostering, yeah.
Okay, sorry. I don't want to be derogatory.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Hi, Steph. Yeah,
that's what I brought up earlier, and you're like, "Oh, hi, Max." I'm like, no, that was Steph.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Hi, Max.
Max is in the chat. Hi, Max.
I am horrible. I just saw him like tan lines, eyes.
Oh yeah, they are super potent, which is impressive because we've had nothing but rain for the last week and a half.
Tugs tans very well. Okay, I've known this since I've met her.
Ever since I stopped using seed oils, I tan a lot better. Anyway,
sorry. Maybe that's it.
Again.
Yeah, that is it. But just, I think that whether Logan or his girlfriend, I don't care what happened beforehand. It's more important what they do now that they have a kid.
Exactly. Amen. And congratulations to them. So
yeah, please excuse me. I'm not good with words.
To be fair, I pulled up Steph's message in the middle of her talking, so that was my bad.
Now, let's just put something where I thought I died when I saw this, and it's a little more lighthearted. So,
what?
Adam Krigler, grain of rice, world's smallest computer, guys under 6 foot. I just thought it was a funny meme. In some ways, a lot of girls treat guys under 6 feet tall. Do that.
That is,
Unfortunately.
yeah. Okay. My mind went a completely different direction. That makes much more sense. I was like, oh, dang. He's like calling him out.
We're just bringing some levity into this conversation. Leave comics division alone.
No, comics.
Oh, poor comics.
Oh
All the short kings. Now, I don't think guys under 6 feet tall are short kings. I think, let's say average male height is what, 5'6", 5'7"?
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's dropped. It used to be like 5'9", but it's dropped, I think.
Yeah. McFly says, as a 5'7"
Shorter.
dude, can't confirm. I don't want to lie.
Drink your raw milk. You got this.
No, it's so true. There's so many girls that are like the 666. So I understand you. I see you. You know, my man, he's the same height as me. So, and I still love him. I think, what did I learn? People who are either too rich or too tall end up being an a-hole.
That's fair.
Because they're so full of themselves.
That's fair. I'm trying to think, like, everybody I've dated has been like 5'9". I've had one or two that reached the 6 foot 6'1" range. That didn't work, obviously. But yeah, everybody else has been about 5'9", 5'10". So, but I'm also 5'2", so everybody's tall to me, really.
That is true.
Up to everybody.
As a girl who's 5'7", I envied all the short girls because it's like, yeah.
Wider dating pool.
The dating pool does widen, but then I really hated when, oh my God, I almost slapped my friend the one time because she was like, I don't want to date a guy that's shorter than 6 foot. She's 4'11".
Oh, girl.
Like, I literally said, F you. And,
oh my God. No, that's so cute. Her neck would be like this the whole time.
You'd hurt yourself.
Also, that's how you give him. You know what that tells me is that she wanted to wear heels all the time. I know a couple of girls that were that small and that were like, oh no, because they just want to wear heels all the time. Like, you don't even reach 5 feet. You're fine.
Yeah.
Like,
in the end, she ended up with a dude who was 5'10", so it was still pretty tall, but like, well, and I told her, because I started dating Mark before she dated her person. I'm like, it's not about the height. Trust me. Height is one aspect, but that's something that changes over time. It doesn't really matter in the end. Think about the personality. And
we're all gonna end up shrinking in our old age anyway. So
yeah. Oh, okay. Here, if you are a girl that is looking for a man above 6 foot in height, you should go to Germany.
Germany,
that is insane. I know
men are
Serbians. Serbians are tall in general. I hung out with a few Serbian friends, girls and guys, and I was the shortest in the group. I hated it. I mean, I loved it and hated it.
Aren't the Russians still?
The Russians are probably tall too.
Tall? Yeah.
Oh, you're such a wee little thing, Sam.
Alas. I love being 5'2", honestly. I love it. I have to climb on counters.
Oh, yeah. The Danish are the tallest.
Oh, aren't they also the lankiest? Tall and lanky. Is that the Danes? I think
tall and lanky means the same.
Dutch, they tower above everyone. Really? Oh, I mean, my stepmom's Dutch. She's 5'7", 5'8". So yeah, your chances are better in the Netherlands.
Everyone's tiny compared to me. I know.
I care. Did you guys see Stephanie's? Speaking of, did you see Steph's reel that she made with all of you guys?
Oh my! Okay. I'll pull it up. Because she's so tiny. Like, she's so tiny. I freaking love her. And I don't know, whatever perspective she used, it worked so well. Let me pull it up.
All the Henry Cavill talk inspired me to do a second workout. Good.
That's why you dead built like a baked bean. A baked bean. Oh my God, you're so tiny. Dead built like a baked bean. A baked bean.
All you wanna
this one, I was dying.
All you wanna do.
It's the shot glass. Is that Shad?
Which one?
That? The second guy, the guy that hands her the little shot glass.
Oh no, that's Craig.
Oh, that's Craig. Okay. So Craig.
Oh my God. Can I just say, Steph, she was standing and Craig was sitting in a chair, and Steph was the same height as Craig sitting in a chair. I love it. I won't stop slurring my speech from finance. Okay, that was excessive.
She had Hennessy. Forgive her. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's my birthday week, month, or whatever.
It's her birthday month. She can get as drunk as she wants.
Yeah, exactly. Jason Webster for 2 Australians says Henry Cavill is 185 centimeters, 6'1", and 92 kilos. What's 92 kilos in pounds?
Dear God, I don't know. At least 200 something.
202 pounds, and he is all muscle, man.
I was going to say it's at least 200.
Andrew Matthews, for member for 20 months, says Tugs. Part of Logan Paul stood up for her. Wow.
Well, he's not wrong. That's how we got this baby. Congratulations. It worked. Yay.
Jason Webster for 5 Australians says all the Henry Cavill talk inspired me to complete a second workout.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Hey, we've got to get you to go to husband school, as I've called it.
Oh gosh.
Mrs. N and I were like, we could start a husband school and teach people how to be a good husband.
Idea.
So, yeah,
great idea.
Yeah, you get. Oh, I think a perfect weight would be
him on top of you.
Wow, wasn't even thinking that. Wasn't thinking that. He's actually too heavy for me. At 6'1", I would say 190.
I wasn't even thinking Henry. I immediately was like, oh, Mark.
At 6'1", 190. Mark at 5'6", 5'7", he's like 170. That would be fine with me. But yeah, sure, we could go with on top of you for Mark, not Henry Cavill.
I wasn't even thinking about it. New book incoming. Listen. Cheers. You're welcome. Listen, y'all, dang, but you know I'm right. Okay, it's the perfect weight.
I always think like if a guy died on top of me, I would want to be able to get out. That's realistically the thing I think about.
Here's the thing, though. Okay, this is where the true crime person comes into me. Okay, into me, whatever. People, fun fact, are way heavier when they are deceased than they are.
When you're dead weight, it is so true. It's so true.
You could have, and you're like, yeah, I'm strong. You could run through these scenarios. No, because that is like dead weight.
All right,
that is.
Yeah, dead weight. Absolute dead weight. So Jason Webster's 92 kilograms. That's close to Henry Cavill, actually. Jason, what's your height? We need to know your height. MVP, 6'2", 220. It's all in his pee. Actually, I don't know that. Oh my God. Is that Mark's weight with or without his leg? We always count with the leg because it would be hard to calculate it with one leg. So Jonathan here, 6'3", 215. Y'all are too heavy for me. Y'all are muscly, beefy cakes or whatever you want to call it. Max, there we go. Cajun Corey is a little bit on the healthier side. I dated a bodybuilder, not into that. That's the reason why. Not into that. Frog Finance, you're too heavy for me. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, Lance.
Oh my God. What did Lance say? Oh no.
Oh no, it's not funny. We're not laughing at you.
Oh no, your ex said that. We didn't say that.
Yeah.
God.
Jeez,
I'm not saying you guys are overweight, even if you're muscular. That's too much for me.
We're not going to survive if you have a heart attack and fall on top of us.
Fall on top. Okay, there was a movie. Oh shoot, what was it? Where Gerald's Game, yes, where she's handcuffed to the bed and the guy has a heart attack and dies on top of her. And so I think about that scene a lot. And
yeah,
it's such
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
I would say that movie taught me If you haven't seen it, it's a Stephen King book. It's actually the movie adaptation was really great. Anyway, that movie taught me several things. One, never use real handcuffs in the bedroom. It's a problem. And two, never use real handcuffs in the bedroom because that was her whole problem. Okay. Her husband had a heart attack at the foot of the bed and she's handcuffed to the bedroom because they're trying to spice up their marriage because they're in a rut. And you can't break out of real handcuffs. Fun fact, people. If they do it right, you use the key.
Okay, wait. Y'all in the chat, if you want me to spoil what happens, one's in the chat, two's if you don't.
Wild.
I will tell you if you guys, you know.
Get
Jason,
the fluffy ones. You can break those apart.
That's true. Jason for 5 Australian says, I'm 92 kilos, yet when I started learning scuba diving, they had to stick a weight belt on me to keep me underwater. You're made of mostly water. Okay.
Sometimes people don't sink. My dad does not sink. My dad would have to have a weight too. Like he literally
go scuba diving. Oh. If I go scuba diving, oh no, my brother, he's certified to teach, so I probably should get him to teach me. Okay, so we got a lot of spoils away. So in order for her to escape, she had to deglove herself, her hand,
literally,
in order to get her hand out of the handcuffs. And also her husband also died on her. Also, a wolf tried to kill her at one point because they left the door open in the front.
I don't remember now. Either way.
Either way, a feral dog, wolf, doesn't matter. The dog tried to eat her, but it definitely ate Gerald.
It definitely ate poor Gerald, which is, better than eating me. Although she did have to watch because, again, handcuffed to the bed. Honestly, it's really good. If you're a big fan of Stephen King, highly recommend. Yeah, it was rough.
That movie made me think so hard on what I would do in situations like this. If you're going to get kinky in the bed, like Tug said, do not use real handcuffs. Don't do it.
Easy, take one.
And then also, if you date someone who is significantly larger than you, know how to get out from under there. It's not like Gerald was that much bigger than her.
No, but also women, our strength is in our lower half. So lots of kicking, hip thrusts, that kind of thing to flip over. That would be my recommendation. That's my plan anyway. Short of me, should that ever happen, short of me like not panicking. Because that's also what would happen. I would panic.
Tricky. This whole peanut butter jar thing. Imagine the dog had nothing to eat. They have the peanut butter to eat at the very least. If they're hungry and they don't like you, they're going to eat you.
Yeah.
It's like cats. Cats will eat their owners.
Yeah.
That'd be nasty.
Cats give no Fs. Cows don't give a shit.
Absolutely. Also, I thought this was okay. Next topic. I thought this was interesting. So, growing up, before I even show this, Tugs, I know you have a sibling.
Yeah.
Did you ever share a room with your sibling?
No, actually, we had separate bedrooms growing up, but we would share rooms like when we went out of town or if we spent the night like at a friend's house or something. We would share a room, sometimes a bed too. Yeah.
Do you think it's weird to share a bedroom with a sibling?
No.
Up to a certain point, like especially if it's like a boy girl. Yeah, sure, maybe
after
10,
boy
12.
Girl, maybe up to a certain point. Yeah, when they're teenagers, probably.
If they're the same gender, I could totally see. I could share a bedroom with my sibling. Now, I shared bedrooms with my brothers up till about, I think 9. And then I was like, I need my own space. You guys are smelly. Well, my older one's starting to get smelly. And, they just want to do boy things. And I want to do girl things. And, so this is a viral post. And I really don't understand why it's viral. A single mother of 3 goes viral after she shows how she manages to fit 3 of her children in a 2-bedroom house.
Okay, what's wrong with this?
Exactly.
It looks to me like they're all like 10 and under, just looking at the decor.
We got 2 boys, we got Jurassic Park, a Spider-Man lover, and a Barbie lover.
Yeah, they're at least 10 and under would be my rough estimate of the ages of the 3 of them.
They haven't hit puberty. And I think that's when you maybe want some privacy. Yeah. I don't understand it. But I think it brings up a good question. Why are we, even if you had the means to have separate bedrooms, why are we punishing people who cannot afford to have separate bedrooms? They at least have a bedroom to themselves. I think that's a big thing. My family when I went to visit them in Vietnam. In a house, no bedrooms, mind you, 2 beds, 9 people
Right. I was
in
gonna say
one
there's
room.
yeah, literally cultures where there's a whole entire multiple generations in one bedroom without a bed, possibly a floor. Like what?
I just think it's wild that people were like, "This is horrible. Why are you doing this? You're a horrible mom."
That's
But
crazy. It seems fine to me.
yeah, and I think she did a pretty good job. But I saw there was a line that she was planning on getting dividers for the room.
Mm.
Even better. Hey, at least they're not even sharing
Mhm.
beds. She could have
Yeah.
done bunk beds.
Yeah.
I actually really liked bunk beds when I was younger.
That's so crazy. I didn't even see this. This is wild.
Yeah, well, this has 8.8 million views, which is why I was so confused why
Oh
this
my
is such a
boy.
big deal.
This is also true. Not even 100 years ago, even less than 100 years ago. Yeah. The average family in America lived in a single room house. Yeah. You go back and
Yeah.
you watch all these like 1800s, whatever's, and there were plenty of people in the 40s and 50s that had 2-bedroom homes. I mean, we found that out when we went to war with Germany in the 40s, looking at the way the other side of the pond lives. There's so many people, even to this day. Like you go to New York City, even, and there's 2, 3, 4 girls in a studio apartment because that's how they afford rent. You know what I mean? Like what?
Yeah.
I don't
This is
understand. And these
interesting.
are
And
siblings. Like what? Ugh.
maybe we haven't explored this. Samantha says courts and judges get weird about shared room for kids.
Really? Why?
Please let us know what that means. There's a lot of push to have kids
Why?
have their own rooms. I mean, I
Oh, wow.
understand. Okay, I love the idea of privacy, especially the older I get.
Hmm.
But when you're a kid, I don't think you necessarily need that privacy because guess what? Things like I love bubble bath time with my brothers when I was very young.
Mm.
Was that weird? No, no one made it weird. But at some point, my mom was like, maybe it's time for you to not have bubble baths with your brothers. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I can have them by myself. I have more fun by myself, anyways. I remember that conversation distinctly. So, it never was weird. So, yeah, rent and mortgage are very expensive. And I like that a lot of the comments below were very positive on this mother because I, I never understood why this is something you should shame someone for.
Yeah. I mean, when they all start hitting teenage, that's going to be something. But from the decor, it looks like that's going to be a while.
It's gonna be a very long while. I mean, this kid's barely even touching the steel bars. This one will probably the green sweater one at the left will probably have to have his room own space soon,
Mhm.
maybe not own room. Oh, here we go. Samantha says, "Yeah, I've seen cases where it's important for a child to have their own space, their own room, especially getting older. I think younger is understandable." Absolutely. Absolutely. I just thought it was weird why people are so gung ho about like
Yeah.
getting kids to have their own room.
What kills me is, okay, this is a problem, right? But us girls who are grown women, who we may be friends, we may be acquaintances, like a bachelorette party, for instance. Totally fine sharing a hotel room at a bachelorette party with girls you don't know that are grown women. That's not weird. But it's weird for me to share a room with my brother and sister. What? You know what I mean?
No,
Like, hello?
like
I don't
I
understand.
will say this. Okay, in terms of sharing hotel rooms, I will only share rooms with girls or girls who are with their husbands. I've done that with Kara. Um, my brother and his wife. But
Mhm.
I will never share a room with a man just to him alone because that's just,
Well, that's fine, but I guess where I'm getting at is like there are so many cases, and now yes, you're an adult, but like overseas in Europe, hostels are very popular, right? You are literally sharing a room in a hostel with 3, 4 other people traveling hostels. Okay. You have New York, and this is not, I'm dead serious. New York City, you will see Craigslist ads, newspaper ads, whatever, for now, usually the same gender, but sometimes it's the opposite, looking for roommates 3 or 4 of them at a time that you've never met before, living in 1-bedroom apartments, that's fine. I find that weirder. Like, as an adult, I definitely don't want to be staying with somebody I don't know. You know what I mean?
But I think when it comes to those New York apartments, you know, you're buying a lifestyle versus your space. You want to be in New York, and this is the only place that you could like get a room to even be in New York.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, if you value your own space, you're gonna move somewhere where it's like way cheaper. Like New York was how much was it for a 1-bedroom? Like $2,500?
Oh, in New York, if you're lucky.
Okay, sorry. That would be a studio, actually, I'm thinking of. Sorry.
Yeah, studio.
A studio.
Yeah. But either way, I just find it interesting that there's no stigma on that. Like, it's perfect. That's perfectly okay to reach out on the internet to complete strangers, be like, come share this room with me or whatever. But it's weird, and this woman should go to court and possibly have her kids go take them away, because you know there were comments like that, because she has her 3 blood-born children who share blood, who are going to grow up protecting each other until the day all 3 of them pass 80 years from now to share a bedroom. Where are we? What is happening in society right now? I'm so confused.
Yeah. And I feel bad because the room is actually like pretty spacious. I think she actually gave the kids the master bedroom in the 2-bedroom apartment.
And there you go. What room do you and your husband need? You need the bed.
Okay? No, sorry, she's a single mom.
Oh, and she's a single mom? Oh, yeah.
Like, honestly, if she even got a 1-bedroom apartment and put the bedrooms like that and she slept in the living room, power to her. She's valuing the kids more than herself. And I like sacrifice. That is sacrifice.
That's also a good point. This is an example of somebody putting the kids above their own needs, which is what the red pill movement screams. I mean, now the single mom thing, that's a whole different argument. We don't know the whatchamacallit story behind this, obviously. But she's putting the kids before her own needs. And I think that that's a win immediately. Like, kudos. And yeah, you could put up partitions in between the 2 boys and then one in front of her, the girl, you know, or switch them somehow. I don't know. You can always rearrange a room, guys. It's really not that big of a deal.
It's not a big deal. So
I can't.
Yeah. I just don't like bed bunks for myself, at least. I always made sure when I was in hostels to have the bottom bunk. I remember when I went hiking in the Alps, and like nothing ever for Mark to worry about, because all we were doing is hiking and sleeping and dying. There was a dude in our room who was snoring so loud, and I had to poke his wife, had to poke her husband in order to like, and that's fine.
Him over, please.
Yeah, but like they were super respectful on like making sure they weren't being too like whatever lovey-dovey, or like making sure all the girls were fine with the arrangements, because like it is true, there's a little awkwardness with men being in the same room. But when it comes to Europe, there's just something so different being in Europe. With sharing a room. I'm fine with sharing a hostel room with men and women. But because I was dying from, I need sleep, so I'm going to sleep because I don't freaking care who's around me. That's weird. Culture is weird. I would say America is more prude than Europe, though.
Oh, for sure. Which is weird, because we're like one of the top proponents of OnlyFans and pornography and all of that stuff. But yeah, we're the most prudish.
But then we get like things like topless beaches in the Europes. And they're so rare here in comparison. Like in Italy, a topless ad is just normal.
Yeah. But whereas here it's like a taboo. Yeah, it's taboo, but pornography runs rampant. OnlyFans runs rampant. Oh, you don't want sex scenes in movies? You're weird. You have to have those. That's fine, but I don't. But God forbid you and your siblings share a room. Right? Exactly. Max
says
exactly.
Boot camp was wild with 60 dudes in one large room with bunk beds. But I heard about you in the Marines and checking oil. Okay, y'all are gay. No homo, of course.
One large room. And listen, if you guys were out in the fields, okay, like if you're out in the field and there's like 2 girls in your unit, you had to share a room, you would. You guys may be on that one side of the room and they may have this side of the room, but you know what I mean? But nobody thinks that's weird.
Honestly, if I were in the Marines, I don't think I could handle it. Hearing stories about y'all, I'm so glad I never was.
Kudos.
I would be the prude. No. And like I've talked about this before. My brother, when I was driving him around for his course, he was like, "Don't leave the car. I don't want to deal with it. The guys have been starved of looking at females." I'm like, "Okay."
Oh God.
And it's so true. I literally have just been in the car with my sunglasses, but you get the 90-yard stare, like boobs, 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 boobs. It's so true though. So I'm glad I never went to the army, is all I have to say, or military, or whatever you want to call it.
I wouldn't last 2 seconds.
Speaking of the army, I think this is something that happens a lot. Y'all fart a lot in the army, right? Imagine a room of 60 dudes.
That's those MREs. They really get you.
Oh my God. I have some MREs and I kind of want to try it like as a video for fun from my brothers. Max's boobs.
Duke and I, there was a army surplus store down the street from my house that I lived in Vegas. And I was like, I've always wanted to try an MRE. And we would go probably more often than necessary and get different MREs like every other weekend. And we would that would be our dinner. And they were actually rather good. I was rather impressed. I was expecting something awful, but I was rather impressed. Not all of them were delicious, but more often
than not, all of them were horrible.
This is actually, okay. I could do this. This isn't bad.
So the MREs that my brother were supplied with at the time, it's funny because it sounded like they were bartering between each other, but I actually could get it.
Yeah, they do.
They do. So he had apple slices and sugar. That was dessert.
That's good.
He had a Kit Kat bar. He had, salt and pepper, the knife and fork. He had beef with rice. I forgot what the flavoring was, and then potatoes as well. But it was like a decent meal. Like I think in that pack, it was probably 2,000 calories.
Mm-hmm. There's honestly, a lot of them were pretty good. Okay.
Wait,
those apple slices are to die for. Yeah.
Wait. Okay. There's a picture here. I have this. That you know what the weird thing I like about cigarettes, right? You'll remember soon enough. I have a picture of me in Max's car, like a little drug addict that I am, because I don't. Yes. Let me see if I can find it and I can show y'all.
Yes, every country does have different MREs. Like the Asian ones are wild. Oh my God.
Because I love cigarettes so much, but unlit. Okay. I don't like it.
The unlit smell is so much better than the lit
tobacco smells so freaking good.
Yeah, I agree. And cigars smell way better than any cigarette ever. I love the smell of cigars.
Yeah, and if you're at a beat up, and I know you smoke ciggies, I will ask you to sniff your cigarettes.
The pack, though, not the smoke.
The pack. Yeah, I don't want to smoke
in your face. There's a guy on YouTube, and I can't think of the name of his YouTube channel. Duke would know. Where he opens MREs that people send him from all the world. And some of the ones he's opened are from like World War II. It's wild. And it's so insane to see how that's changed over the decades. It's really crazy. But yeah, everybody overseas. So like the Australian one had Vegemite in it. There was an Asian one. Yeah, there was an Asian one that had I can't remember where specifically in Asia, but they had like dumplings and a lot of rice. The Asian ones always have a lot of rice. And he did get a Canadian one, and I don't remember what year it was from, but it had poutine in it. And I was like, oh, hey, look at that.
Oh, I kind of want to get it now. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get it.
I love MREs, low key. They're I could live off of them. I really could. There was only been one, and I can't remember what the flavor was that I didn't like. It wasn't very good. But yeah. Yes, I can't think of his name. He eats MREs. Yeah, he opens them up. And he's like, oh, let's get this on a tray. Nice. And he's so calming. And he talks about the facts about them and where they come from. And he keeps like the stuff that he can keep that's not going to go bad or whatever. He keeps it, like the trays or whatever, he'll keep it. He's so cool. And he's so knowledgeable. I can't think of the name of his channel.
Okay, so sorry about the crinkling.
Oh, Steve, this guy. Steve MRE Thank you, Jonathan. Go look him up on YouTube. You guys will love him. I'm telling you. Okay. Anyway,
So I have pub style pulled beef menu number 12.
Ooh.
We can pull out all the items.
She's gonna open it.
Okay, I'm gonna mute this.
What? You're gonna ruin us? Take away the ASMR? How rude, honestly.
Do you actually want the plastic sounds?
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Oh my god, there's so many packages in here. Okay. So we have peanut butter. Canadian Emery.
The peanut butter is so good. It's
raspberry jam. Oh, I don't know what this is. This is compressed napkin. It's so small. Tabasco sauce.
The little teeny tiny bottles, they're the best.
Okay, we have a spork.
Oh, yes.
With actual napkin, even though there's a compressed napkin in there. There was also a Kit Kat bar in here, but we gave it away to our guys that was doing our renovations. Tortillas.
Ooh.
Sliced apples.
No, the apples are so good. The apples are so freaking good.
Sweet barbecue mix.
Ooh.
Lemon lime sports drink.
Ooh, that one's probably good. We had a sports drink one that was supposed to be coffee, and it was not good at all.
Oh, number 2, lemon lime sports drink.
Ooh, 2 of them.
Pulled pork pub style. It's very squishy. I barely feel any meat in there. Feels just very liquidy. Oh wait, no, I found the big chunk. Beverage bag. That sounds nasty to me. Why is there a beverage bag?
It's for so you can mix the drink in.
Oh, Nescafe coffee. So that I mean, like this is like 2,000 calories in a pack, I believe. Has to be.
So does your guys's also come with? So the American ones come with toilet paper, and it sometimes it comes with oh gosh, I can't think of all the stuff now. Like a wet wipe, and then also there is always mints, like chewing gum in them because it helps with the digestion, so you can poop. You're supposed to, so you eat the meal and then you're supposed to chew the gum until it, loses flavor or whatever, and then you can get rid of it. And that is supposed to help with the digestion because the whole point of these MREs is to keep you very, very, very full on long periods of time. And so they also tend to like back you up poop wise. So the gum is very
I never thought of that.
Yeah.
That makes sense. We got Jason Webster for 5 Australian says, when I was young, I was a sleepwalker. One night they found me trying to climb my bedroom wall. Wow. I got over the sleepwalking.
Oh my God.
I feel like you're such an onion. We're finding out more about you every week. Also, if you're an Australian cute girl, let us know. Jason Webster seems like a cool dude.
Jonathan. Yes. But
yes.
Here's the cool thing about MREs, and I don't know what the Canadian one looks like, but the American ones come with a bag. So it's a plastic bag, and it's got a heater in it. And so you snap it, you put it in the bag, and then you take your meal that you want to eat, you put that in the bag with it, and you kind of tighten it up, and you just let it sit for like, what was it, hon? Like 15 minutes? Oh, you got to put water in it. You put water in it, and you let it sit.
And then you boil. It's like it boils itself in the bag.
And it heats itself up, and it takes like 15 minutes. You just leave it while you eat like the stuff that doesn't need to be heated. It's like your apple slices or your coffee or whatever, and you eat that stuff. And then 15 minutes later, and it's hot. Like it's wild. It's so cool. I love MREs. Like they're cool. I like them.
And we have
lean against the rock.
2 fake Canadian MRE. Where's the maple syrup? It's injected into our veins. Obviously, tricky. Obviously,
they're different too. So like the MRE that he gets this year, while he's out and about, may be different than the one he gets in a year or two. Like they always go through cycles, and so that's what the guy on YouTube does too. Is he'll pull like the serial number and he'll talk about the number on him, like, oh, these were through this year and these are discontinued, and then this year they changed, instead of apple slices they started getting Pop-Tarts or whatever. It's wild. There's a whole thing behind it. It's so fascinating. I love MREs. Anyway.
I love it. Okay, so let's get to our next topic, this farting thing. Science says
Oh,
that
God.
couples that fart together are happy and healthier. I saw this actually quite a few 2 years ago that the farts actually are good for cancer. I
What?
just have to laugh about that. It helps prevent cancer as well.
Really?
So
Wow.
apparently farting is great. Honestly, I have never had a Dutch oven and I never want that to happen. That's all I have to
I
say.
don't know
about
that that's what they mean. I think that they mostly mean like you're sitting on the couch and you're not afraid to let out a fart situation, you know.
I mean, sure. I think Mark and I, we both have healthy farting habits. We just blame it on Rocky.
There you go. Oh, it was totally a dog. Yeah, I can't do that with the
Rocky.
Cats are not as gassy. Humberskis.
Vacation's like, so I just need to find a woman who'll play the fart blurps. Yes.
Yes, Corey. Yes.
Absolutely. Do you think it's like weird to fart in front of your partner?
I do at first. I do. I've always been like, I'm a lady. I'll never do that. And now that we're living together a year and a half-ish later, I'm like,
Obviously, I've never farted. A girl never farts.
Women don't
Tugs
fart.
never fart. Yeah. only our boys have. Okay, obviously. That's why Rocky farts all the time. Jojo never
we don't
farts.
poop either.
No. Although, Mark and I had a conversation today. We're like, we love our toilet so much. It is the best thing that's happened to us.
Oh, the bidet? Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, if I do it at work, I feel disgusting. And then I come home and then I have to sit on the toilet at least once.
You've spoiled him. You've spoiled him. He's never going to be able to go out and we're about to enter World War III and he's not going to be able to go out in the field because he's not going to want to go poo in the woods, which I don't blame him. I wouldn't want to either.
Me neither. So I think it's healthier to keep yourself clean. You know, in the Middle East and in Vietnam, they have bidets or hoses. Like it's literally just a hose where you just hose your butt off. And in America, it's just freaking toilet paper. Tell me who's disgusting.
Well, I mean, there's wipes. You can buy wipes.
Wipes are still not the same thing. You need to hose that stuff down.
Not all of us are rich, okay?
It's not about being rich. It's about, a toilet attachment for a bidet is like $60. $60. Is that really that crazy to get? I don't know. Oh, yeah. And wipes clog the pipes. Absolutely.
You're supposed to throw them away, I think. I don't know if they make any.
They say they're disposable, but I never believe them. So I don't know. I say if you can get a bidet toilet or the toilet seat attachment, try, because your butthole, I promise you, like most human beings, adult human beings have hair on their butt. Tell me you can clean it 100%. Tell me. No one can. I've seen how hairy some people are. Like, there's one of my favorite clients when I was doing the full-time esthetician thing. Straight male, only gets that part waxed. He's like, I can never go back to a full hairy butt because how disgusting it is when you poop.
Honestly,
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Everybody's disgusted now.
Everyone in the chat.
You know what helps though is squatty potty. I think it was Samantha mentioned squatty potties. Yeah, get a squatty potty. Or if you don't want to spend squatty potty money, just do what I do. I have a little stool, my little stool that I need to reach the ceiling. You just put your feet, and that helps with the mess, y'all. It helps because then you're like, we're the only Western civilization is like one of the very few places out there that doesn't like squat properly.
Sean's like, use a trim or get a wax. Come on. Well, when the hair grows back from wax, it's a lot softer. When you shave, it's more prickly.
It's pokey.
It's also itchy. Like, who wants to scratch their butthole in public? I'm just saying. I mean, I have never shaved my butt. I'll put it out there. Don't know what that's like. So you tell me. Is it easy? Is it easy to shave the butt? I would rather wax it. Okay. Would rather wax. Pay someone to do it.
A stool to help with your stools. Exactly. I thought it was prop too.
So this is so in real life, back before we started sitting on a toilet, it actually facilitates the defecation process to squat like that, because we've gone away from doing it in a field or whatever. And there's actually some places in Asia. I'm not sure about where else, like maybe in Africa, maybe, where there's the American toilet and then there's the Canadian toilet. Or sorry, Asian toilet. Where there's literally
Super
a
low to
hole
the
in the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where you squat
Yep.
in. So it's, I prefer the American toilet personally, but that's just me. I do love
You know
the
what though is
bidet
interesting?
hose.
Like, just get a little stool. You don't have to spend the squatty potty money. I think it's ridiculous for the price is ridiculous for what it is. Like, we get it. But you just get like a little stool. The Dollar Tree sells them for like $5. Get a little folding stool. Same thing.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all, it helps. If you have problems going to poo, I'm telling y'all, get a little stool, put your feet up. It'll help you. It helps with the flow. Don't ask me. There's
There we go. See, Tricky says the same thing.
Yeah,
Get a
exactly.
stool.
Dollar Tree. They sell them for like $5. They're folding stools.
Yep.
Text somebody, get behind your toilet.
GRP for 199 says, X-ray, have you washed your butt today? Are you asking me if I went to poo-poo today? I'm a girl. I don't poop.
Yeah, we don't poop.
I got it from my husband, obviously. Obviously.
We don't poop at all.
Okay, I do have a video here for our next topic. This isn't real.
Oh God, I forgot about this.
I don't think it's real. And also the note says her TikTok is satire. But this is just something that you should know, that if someone actually tries to get after you for, this is why you go through the right processes. No. This is why you have to go through the right process if you're donating your sperm. So she allegedly sues for her sperm donor for child support and is awarded 40% of her pay. Obviously, this didn't happen.
I successfully sued my sperm donor, and now I get 40% of his paycheck. You have no idea how happy this makes me, because now I can be a stay-at-home mom, because 40% of his paycheck can support me fully financially. So what happened was, I'm a lesbian. Babies the natural way, obviously. So I went to the route, and I went to a sperm bank and I bought sperm. I get pregnant, I have my baby, I'm living with my girlfriend, she's working full-time, so she's supporting us financially. And then all of a sudden she decides she wants to break up, and she refuses to give me child support. She said, I don't want anything to do with this baby. I'm not on the birth certificate. I'm not legally obligated to take care of them. I'm out.
That's fair.
What am I going to do now? Then it occurred to me, I could sue the baby's biological father.
You can't.
The baby wouldn't be here without him, right? So my friend that works at the sperm bank got me my sperm donor's contact info, and I texted him and I acted like it was the wrong number. And we ended up making plans. We were texting back and forth for a while. We ended up making plans to meet up, and I hung out with him for a few months, befriended him. And then I got a DNA sample off of his cup one day, like swabbed it for his saliva. I sent it in and made sure that he actually was the biological father of my child. And he was. So I took him to court to get child support, and they granted me 40% of his paycheck.
Now, of course, we have the note here. She does
we do have
satire.
context that this is not a real thing.
It's not real. But where I say this, you have to actually be careful. If you donate sperm, you got to do it through a sperm bank, because there is legalities where it actually takes you away from having to do the whole child support. You signed it away, and they sign it too when they receive the sperm. Now, for people who just willy-nilly deposit their sperm in a girl's uterus, good luck, because you're going to have to pay some child support.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, there's a lot of legality with this. Now, I know that there is, I don't know where the line would blur. Again, obviously she's not being serious, but I don't know where the line would blur if this was a thing. There are situations where, as a sperm donor, you can choose. You don't have to be anonymous. Like, you can. I don't know if that's everybody or whatever, but there is an option. Kind of like when you put your kid up for adoption, you can either choose like, no, I don't want any contact ever, or yeah, you can have my information at age 18 or whatever. It's all part of the contract. So I think there is a way, if you wanted to, you can be, and then at that point you would know that, oh, this is John Smith, he's my donor, blah blah. But I still think there's a bunch of laws that protect you with that.
No, there is, and that's why you have to go through the right things. Like I do know a person back in the day that I was friends with, that his parents, they did, like, his dad was like, his actual dad that he grew up with was biologically sterile. So from my understanding, his bio dad was his dad's best friend, and they totally did an at-home turkey baster. Now that is something like if they fell in hard times, they totally could go after him for money.
Oh my Lord Jesus.
And luckily enough, they didn't. Like everything, and I think it's kind of cool in a sense that you have like your dad, and then you have your biological dad, which you kind of did grow up with, and you have someone else to lean on. And it's not like this weird like you were adopted. We don't know who your parents are, but your parents have to want to know you too. And this kind of facilitates a better bonding experience. Maybe, I don't know. I've never been in that situation. Don't know what that feels like. Don't know what that's like. But I think that could be a cool experience if everyone is, of course, friendly in the end. But don't be a turkey baster donor if you don't know who these people are. You never know if they're going to come after you for money.
You know, there's some people somewhere, I'm sure her TikTok is full of women that are like, oh my God, this is such a great idea.
That's the problem, is that people will, but you sign your life away in the sense of they don't have to do anything with you at all. Legally, nothing at all. So you gotta be careful with that. Can we get back to girls farting? No. Let's see here. We do have some super chats. GRP for $1.99 says, you ladies are full of crap that your eyes are brown. My eyes are actually technically brown. So was I full of crap back when I was a kid? I'm not really sure, GRP. I'm Asian. They're naturally brown. What can I say? Samantha says, even if the mom, for example, wanted to go after for child support, if another man has been acting as the father of the child, it might not matter who the bio dad is. And in this situation, it was like a lesbian couple. I do think that it's hard to say. Like, say the person of the TikTok that we saw was the biological mother. Like, would you, as a couple, a lesbian couple, could you go after the non-biological mother for money, for support? I don't know. That's something I have never actually even thought about. And that's actually so complicated in a homosexual relationship. Something to think about. I don't know. I don't know that many same-sex couples, but that's a question I will ask the next time I can get a chance. All right. Tricky for $5 says this. So the lesbian couple next door wanted to try for natural baby making. Might be a trap. It absolutely is trap, Tricky. Oh my God. But yeah, the video is completely parody. It is, but it does give a thought-provoking experiment when it comes to the biological versus non-biological nature. Like, imagine the person who is the biological parent ends up with a child, but then needs help, and you break up. Who is responsible? Is the non-biological parent responsible? I have no idea.
I don't know how that works. It's kind of weird. Also, watching this video made me think of In Legally Blonde, where Reese Witherspoon's character is like, they're doing that mock thing in class, and she says something to the effect of, why is their client so concerned with this particular sperm? What about all the other sperms as a donor? And he didn't seek out those sperms, so technically it's reckless abandonment or something like that. And I was like, does this fall into that category?
I mean, who knows? And I think that we are at this point where it's like, it depends on your country's law as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really understand American law. So if you're interested, you should definitely check it
out. Somebody explain it to me.
Yeah, please do.
Where's legal mindset when you meet him?
Oh, yeah. Well, he's good with immigration law, right? So we don't know. So yeah. We are going to keep this episode a bit shorter. I did say an hour, but we're at an hour and a half, and I still had quite a bit of fun. Obviously,
we got on an MRE tangent. I missed you too.
I miss Tug so much. Yes, Tugs. Anything coming up you're excited for? Gonna happen? All that good stuff.
Stream tomorrow, Friday. No, stream tomorrow night, Friday morning, probably. And then Saturday night, nothing special necessarily. I might play Don't Scream again.
I heard that the mic is super sensitive. They're like, don't play it while you're sick. I was like,
no, I was like, yeah, because if you cough, because there was times when I would like talking like this is okay. It's fine. It didn't read it too much, but I would get excited and be like, "Oh my gosh!" And it would trigger, and I would die. I was like, "Gosh darn it!" Or there was one time I thought something bad was going to happen, and it didn't, and I went, and it triggered as death. I was like,
What's the runtime that you have to survive?
18 minutes.
That is still pretty freaking long.
It is very long.
Yeah.
I made it the highest. I had 11 minutes and 14 seconds left on the clock, so just under 7
So
minutes.
not even half.
I made it just under 7 minutes. Yeah, not even half.
Wow. Well, that sounds like a great stream. Love you too, Max.
Aw, you too, Max. I miss you guys in Vegas. It's very
DJ
long.
Direwolf for 2 says next DD2 stream.
Dragon's Dogma.
Oh, thank you. You understood it better than me. I wanted to actually, if I get a morning that I don't sleep in, I've slept in every morning since I got back from Vegas.
Need it.
I think would be Friday for Dragon's Dogma. I do want to finish the game.
Smart. I need to get Dragon's Dogma 2, comma 2.
You do.
Two,
You do.
Two, two, two.
Yes, I am very sleepy. I've gone to bed every night by 10 o'clock and I wake up at 11:30. So think
proud
about
of you.
that.
I
tried and I died.
I did yell, I'm trying. Somebody was like, don't die or something. And I was like, I'm trying. And
yeah.
It's like, ah!
So tomorrow, let's see. Oh, that picture of me sniffing the cigarettes are so funny. By the way, thank you, Max, for letting me drive your car. I miss driving
that's a bold move.
Oh, well, I drove a Ford Fusion back in my day before my brother got into an accident. So it was like an easy sell. And he wanted to get super drunk. So he got, as I call it, gay Max style. And I drove everyone home that night. And I actually drove under the speed limit because I'm not used to the miles per hour either.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to make sure I don't get arrested because that always freaks me out. And yeah,
if you go too slow, you can also get pulled over. Fun.
I mean, I want the speed limit. I want the speed limit. Okay, I do know that. I remember one of my coworkers. He was insane. He was driving on the highway. It was supposed to be 100 kilometers per hour. He drove like 60 kilometers per hour.
Oh,
he got so pissed. He got pulled over. I'm like,
yeah,
60. You can get in accidents.
Oh yeah, because you're going too slow because people are trying to go around you, and then it's yeah.
But I just want to make sure everyone got home safe. So, yes. Yeah. Friday, then, DD2. What is this? Scared by deer moose? Yes.
Yeah, that's the point of the game. A moose ran right at my camera, and I peed my pants.
Hey, in real life, if a moose were to do that, yeah, you should be scared.
Moose are very dangerous. Moose are very dangerous. Do not approach in the wild. Okay?
Do not.
But yeah, no, Don't Scream's a lot of fun. If you like horror games, can't wait to see you play it.
Highlander for $2 says you laters are awesome. Thank you so much and have a great evening. Yes.
You're awesome.
So tomorrow I will try to stream in the evening. Maybe. Let's see. I have to see when I wake up. Okay. Every day has been touch and go.
I think you need all of the sleep because that's how you heal. So
yes, and I've been sick. So
moose and squirrel.
Mises.
Everybody says Mises. Yeah,
Mises pieces. I don't know about that. But yeah, sub to all of our channels. The link is in the description for Kick, Twitch, YouTube's, all them things. And yeah. Next week, I know we were supposed to have Lila on yesterday, scheduling issues. We will have her on next week. And we have a couple good guests that I'm thinking of lined up. So for our Tuesdays, Dadcast / that time of the month. So if you guys have any people you want us to interview in terms of their relationships, please direct message us there because I would love to know what you would like to think.
Going to have Max on again to get an update about how dating life is going in California.
Yeah. We have had Kara on, Highlander. We have had her on. So, yeah. We'll see. But also, did I miss any? No, I haven't. I haven't missed any. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much. I am drunk and I'm going to bed soon.
Yay. She's going to sleep a good sleep tonight.
I love you guys. And Tux loves you. Bye.